Isn't that great bit of music? I love rocking along with that stuff when we come on a Monday night. So let's get right into this because we have a truckload of stuff to get through tonight. We've got some heads up on a few things, some comments from overseas, information from all sorts of people. So let's get this underway, get right into it as soon as I find the slide control. There we go. Here we are, 8th of the 6th, 8th of June. This is the month. Pay attention to everything that happens this month. It is going to be an enormous month for us. So welcome everybody. To those of you that are here with us, we'll have people joining as the night goes on. We'll deal with that as we're coming along. But at the moment, welcome. You're in the right place. We are expressing our views only as affiliates. We are not representing the company. We do not make company policy. We do not represent the company. So I just want everyone to be clear about that so we all know where we stand. But this is what we're here to talk about, the wealth principles. There's 4 of them. Pay yourself first. Make sure you understand what that means. Establish a residual income. Very, very critical with what's coming down the road at us from an economic perspective. Limit your tax exposure. That also is critical given what's coming down the road at us. And make sure that you stay ahead of inflation. If you know anything about how money works, how economics work, any of that, if you know anything at all about it, you know we are staring down the barrel of a financial meltdown of some magnitude with what's occurred in the world, what's occurring in the world, etc. Make sure you pay attention. Have a little listen to Ms. Camilla.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. We, the team at Gold Rocks, are here to show you how to become a gold saver, which has far better return than traditional savings methods. Let us show you why you should get started today. When you begin saving, you typically have a goal in mind, whether it be buying a house, paying off debt, studying, starting a business, travel, or maybe retirement. We've always been told to work hard and save. The majority of us have only had the following options: maybe holding your cash in an envelope, a jar, or a piggy bank, opening a cash savings account to earn interest, or applying for a loan. But that means debt, and that's something none of us want to get into. Unfortunately, many people don't understand what saving your money by the traditional way actually means. Cash loses an average of 2% per year through inflation. That means if you saved $100 today, it would have the buying power of $90 in 5 years' time. So then what if you put it into a savings account? The average interest rate across the banking system in Australia and New Zealand is 1% per year. So that $100 would have the buying power of $95 in 5 years' time. A little bit better than the cash in an envelope, but you are definitely losing money. So question, what do they do that you don't do yet? The governments, the banks, and the wealthy. What do they do? Simple, they save gold. Robert Kiyosaki, who we all know as the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant, says, gold is money. JP Morgan, one of the most powerful bankers of his era, whose company JP Morgan Chase still exists today, said gold is money. Everything else is credit. And Alan Greenspan, the former head of the Federal Reserve, arguably the most powerful financial institution in the world, says gold is always accepted. and they are just a few examples amongst many, many others. So why gold? Gold gains an average of 15 to 20% per year. So what if you put your $100 into gold? Well, in 5 years' time, it would be worth at least $175. Would you rather have $95 from your traditional savings account or $175 from your gold savings account? Next question. Why choose our gold and why save with us? Our gold savings account is free to open and has no monthly fees. Our source is the global leader in small increment weights from 0.1 of a gram. And at the time of recording this, 0.1 of a gram was about $10 to $11 Australian. This makes gold accessible to all levels of income. No matter who you are, what you earn, you can now do what was once only available to those with wealth. And helping all people get ahead is something our team at Gold Rocks is passionate about. Our gold is 999.9 gold bullion purity. It has state-of-the-art security against counterfeiting, and our source provides free storage until you choose to have your gold delivered to you. Getting started is as easy as getting back to the person who shared this video with you, registering your free gold savings account, and starting to save your money in gold today. We encourage you to do your own research into all of the information we've shown you. And we look forward to helping you save your future in gold with the team at Gold Rocks. Be blessed.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. She does a great job. She's built a huge business and is building an even bigger one and has her sights set on the Pacific Islands. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we've got a couple of sponsors, Skippy Pest Control and Easy Shopping Cards. They have been with us for a long time. EasyShoppingCards.com. Get your groceries from Woolies and receive 2% back in gold. You need a couch? Plush. They're very good opportunities to get gold for what you're doing on a daily basis. You do need a Carrot Pay account, but you will get gold back for your groceries. Where else are you going to have that happen? And if you go over here and talk about Skippy Pest Control, Dan the Hammerman, one dead ant at a time. That's what you need to keep focused on. You need a Carrot Pay account. You can probably pay with gold. You have to negotiate with the office manager. And that's what he uses to take care of the ants. Just want you all to know he's very, very focused. Okay, here we go with our Brains Trust segment. Mr. Mitch Tafe and Mr. Dobson, are you there, gentlemen?
I certainly am. Good evening, Mr. Miller.
Good evening, Mr. Brent. Mitch, can you unmute yourself? I'll see if I can do it. Yep, he's working. Can you talk, Mitch? I know you can, but can we hear you?
Can we hear you? Just while he's doing that, I might just. I'm so excited, as you open the evening's procedure, and it's an old cliche saying that you're in the right place at the right time. But honestly, what we've been doing for the last this is call number 50, Mr. Miller. Does that mean we're almost a year into our Monday night calls?
That's exactly right. That's where that number comes from.
And we've been preaching this for 2 years. So, let's say for 12 months now with your team. But yes, it's very exciting what's happening. Mitchell, where are you, young man? He might not quite know how to unmute himself.
His mic is unmuted.
Is it? Okay, let me tell you about this man. Hopefully we can chat to him. Well, straight up, have a look. He's far too good looking and far too young to be building a Carrot Bars business. And yes, he is starting to be quite successful. He's building a team of mainly young people, which I love. They're all in their 20s, most of them, and I'm very excited about where he's taking this. I registered Mitchell's parents, first of all, just over a year or so ago, and Mitch was saying, how do I get some of this coin, and how do I get some of this gold? And I normally wouldn't, and this is something that I will say to everyone: don't disregard anyone in this business, age, race, sex, whatever, particularly in these tough times. And he just kept on asking me all the right questions. So I said to him, mate, if you plug in, I will show you the business, and not just me. Everyone.
Yeah. You get me now?
Hey, Mitchell. Yeah, Matt. Got you, mate. Good evening.
My settings, change a few things.
What did you do?
I'd go into my settings and change a few things so it would let me unmute.
Mate, I brought you into this business because you're young and sharp and you're supposed to know all this technical stuff. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Well, welcome. Did you hear? I was just sort of telling everyone a little bit about how I know you and your background, and
everything like that.
Yeah, and I think everyone in your family, and I love your family, the whole family, they're wonderful people. Everyone has a Carrot Bars account now, and it is saving in gold. It's fantastic. But just quickly, man, I don't want to hold up too much of your time. We've got a lot to go through tonight, but can you just sort of tell me what you do for a crust and how long you've been doing it?
Well, I've worked obviously at Rollscart for 9 years now. I did my apprenticeship there as a panel beater.
They're a panel shop, yep.
And a panel shop, yeah. So I was on the tools there for about 5. My apprenticeship was about 4 years and was on the tools for about 5. So I've been off the tools for about 3 to 4 years now. And I'm actually managing the shop. There's about 35 staff there. So I'm one of the floor managers there. So that one of the supervisors running the floor.
It's a busy shop, isn't it? I know.
Do about 50 cars a week. So
so there's a plug. Anybody that needs their car fixed in Brisbane, go over to Rolls Car at Sumner Park. And Mitch says he's one of the floor managers. He's more than that. He just about runs the place when the parents aren't there. But and I know, and I think that's probably what I liked about where the questions you were asking. And you remember you said to me, you didn't really want to be doing that at your dad's age, and as nice as it'd be to take over a business like that, but you were looking for another way. Remember that conversation?
Yeah, definitely, for sure at the start. Well, I'm only 25 years old, so I definitely didn't want to be doing what he was doing at his age. So I was always looking at different avenues and what I could do. And then good old Brent came along.
So what experience have you in this type of industry? You said 9 years. Well, let's work your age out. So what I'm getting at is pretty much all you know is panel beating, yeah?
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
And there should be a law against this because it's taken me 30 years to find a business as good as Carrot Bars, and then you've come along at your age and you're starting to light your business up, and it's great, and I love working with you guys. And I feel so young at heart most of the time when I'm around you, except for when we go and have a few drinks, and I realise I can't pick up.
Hopefully we can do that again soon.
Yes, that's right. We do catch up a couple of times a year, don't we, an excuse for a footy comp or something.
Yeah.
So, and I know you've got a couple of young, really sharp guys in your business, and I'm excited about, working with them and what we've been able to do, but the platform we've set. So hopefully if there's some young ones on this call, they realise. Do you remember, mate, there was one thing I did ask you to do in the early days, and I said to plug in. And you said to me, what does that mean? And that's a good question because, I just assume everyone knows what plugging in means. But once you've registered your business and you've done your KYCs and you got your pack, what I ask, and if you want us to help you, I mean, we'll help you anyway. But if you're going to do a business like this, and it's a people's business, and that's what I love about it, because I like helping people. But you've got to be the example. So I said to set up your auto exchange for at least $1,000 a month, just so you're paying yourself first, right? And then I said to get on these calls as many Monday nights as you can. And there was another thing and I suggested there was some Facebook sites out there like Carrot Bars World and Team 113 and even and you started and you looked a lot of that, and you sort of you that's when I saw you starting to get pretty fired up.
Yeah.
You know, now we have goldrocks.me, which is our site. It's a one-stop shop, and hopefully Brad Smith might talk a little bit about that later on in this call if we have time. But the two basic things is to sign up for it so that you can see all that, like that wonderful video that Camilla just did then, and all the recordings, and also to get the emails. So you just have to subscribe, and every Monday you'll get an email for this call so that you can just simply click on and register. But there was one quick story I want to tell just before we move on. Do you remember when you bought your pack and your mum came to you and she asked me where did all this money come from she just received? Because she wasn't as plugged in and still isn't as you, quite ironically, and hence your business is growing quicker. Yeah. But did you remember that? And she said, no, that's not right. I can't make money off my son. Can you so quickly tell that story?
I do. She didn't understand it 100%. Well, she hardly understood it at all, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
She was umming and ahhing, and she was very iffy about the whole thing, and she was worried about me getting into it and things like that. And I think by then I'd learnt enough of it to understand it myself and be able to make my own decision on what. Obviously, she was just being a caring mother, but
yeah, and you know, this is the problem. Most people will, you know, the parents or the sister or the brother or some relative will talk people out of a business opportunity like this, and that's their dream squash, and they think they're doing the right thing. You know, and you I remember you came to me and you showed me you actually sent me some really cool links as well to send to people from stuff you got from Facebook. But
I was looking at it on Facebook, YouTube. I was looking at a lot of things to try and, because what I struggled with at the most for my own team was because the only people that I could talk to was people around my age.
Yeah.
So you try and talk to people around my age about this sort of thing, and a year ago, I had no idea what gold was. I had absolutely no idea about anything like this. But you try and talk to people around my age now about it, and it is very, very hard because obviously they might not have enough money, or they might not want to be investing in things, or just things like that, and they just don't understand it, I don't think. And that's what I struggled with at the start.
Yeah.
People on board like that, but yeah.
And I said that, didn't I? So remember the first time you tried to put a car together.
Yeah.
And what you've learned, and you've obviously gotten better at asking the right questions, because you now often you just say, can you talk to this person for me or with me? And you know, you've a couple of sharp guys in your team that we will be seeing on this call because they'll be part of this Brains Trust.
Yeah.
You know, you're obviously learning, mate. So
yeah, definitely.
Look, I thank you for that. I just wanted to showcase you this evening. Really excited about what we're going to do with your team, and you're all part of the Gold Rocks family now, and the Carrot Bars family. You know that,
yeah,
and you know, I think we've got someone tomorrow to see. So you're very excited, and you've been saving your cash gold, haven't you? And you're looking forward to some of this uni gold that's coming.
Exactly.
Well, mate, thank you for that. We might just hand this back. Really appreciate that, Mitch. I know it's out of your comfort zone, so I appreciate you coming on, mate.
No worries at all. Thank you.
Okay, I'll hand this back to Mr. Miller.
Thanks, Brent. Thanks, Mitch. I remember seeing Mitch at a function the first time, and Brent had been talking about him fairly extensively, and I had to go and introduce myself. Said, you're this famous Mitch that I've been hearing about. Good work, Mitchell. Okay, here we go. Ms. Phillips is going to give us a little bit of a run through on a couple of parts of the compensation plan. Can you unmute Ms. Phillips?
Oh, I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
You're good.
Fantastic. Thanks, Derek. And thanks, Mitch. You're a great inspiration. It's really lovely to see you, to hear you, and to watch your growth and your understanding, and we support you in your business. So that's great. Thanks for coming on. Now, here we go. Understanding the compensation plan. There are many ways to make money. So Mitch's mum wasn't sure how she was making money. That was actually from number 4, the direct commission income stream. But I'm going to focus tonight on the dual team bonus. So for me, and I think a lot of us on the call, there's a echo there. Thanks, Darren. Number 4 and number 5 are the 2 biggest income options we have at this stage in our business. So direct commission I won't be covering tonight, but certainly the dual team bonus I shall. Let's have a look. Now, when you go to your dashboard, this is the very first page that is open, and you'll notice it's a black background. Black meaning the digital goal. Okay, so from the dashboard, the 3rd column, dual team system, left team person 0, right team persons 31. Left team units 0, right team units 1,632.3. Now, I wonder what all this means. Let's have a little look and go through. I'm going to focus on left team persons 0, right team persons 31. Let's check the significance of the compensation plan. So the dual team bonus, when you have 25 units in one side, one of your teams, left team, right team, team A, team B, whichever, 50 units on the other side, you can earn a payout. Now that payout comes depending on your status, bronze, silver, gold or VIP, and therefore that indicates how much you'll be paid. 40 euros, 50 euros, 60 euros, 80 euros. But every item that your team members on your left and your right, every item that they purchase has a unit value. And you'll see here very simply, the bronze pack has 5 units, the silver pack 20 units, gold pack 50 units, VIP pack has 100 units. That's key to understanding the left team, right team. 25 units on one side, 50 units on the other. This is what it looks like, 31 on the right. So there's the first person. Now just to protect and respect this person's privacy, then I've blocked out the names, but you can see that the person at the top is the bronze because of the egg. The bronze coloured egg. The next person down on the right hasn't purchased any pack because their egg is blue. And then there's another 3 bronze, and then the black is a VIP person. So 31 people on the right, 0 on the left. And that's why no dual team payouts have happened, because there's all this big team on one side and nothing happening on the other. But let's have a look. Persons personally sponsored 0. But if you just head down the right team units, there's 1,632. Can you see that right there? 1,632. And what that means is there's a whole lot of cycles there waiting. So if you divide that number by 50, then you'll actually get how many units, how many cycles are ready to be paid out. Now, what we do there, 1,632 divided by 50, has a possible 32 cycle payments right there. This is where there's more gold. So the 32 cycle payments, if you divide by or times by 40, because this person is a bronze status and therefore every cycle should be paid 40 euros, they have 1,200 euros just sitting there. So the answer to start getting these dual team payments is to sponsor people. So you can see the person's personally sponsored is 0. So this person can start registering people. they'll start filling up the left-hand team, and then as people purchase packs, be they bronze, silver, gold, or VIP pack, and they're all worth a unit value, then the left team unit value increases, the right team units will hold until that person has some left team units, and then the cycles will pay out. Really great system.
Thanks, Carolyn, for a quick run through. We'll come back
Very
and
quick,
do...
because I know tonight is packed, so thanks, Derek.
Yes. We'll come back every week and do a little bit more of the compensation plan, but tonight we have some great stuff in and we're going a bit quick. So here's a market warning. If you're going to transfer money to a bank overseas to buy gold, be considerate of what you tell your bank. They do not like you buying gold or cryptocurrency, so be aware, not afraid, because we got gold, baby. We had some more accounts closed last week and some ugliness, and we're still trying to undo things that happened 6 months ago, and it is an absolute nightmare. So let's look at some employment news. The Prime Minister says our unemployment figures are shocking, but not unanticipated. The Treasurer says women make up the majority of job losses, and he's warning that there will be more bad news in the months ahead as the impact of the virus shutdowns become clearer. Now, this is the next statement that came from the Treasurer and an observer. What's going to happen when they stop making all these payments at the end of September? Now, if you are jobless and you're getting one of these payments, or if you're on a subsidy at the moment, you are deemed to be in full-time employment by the government. So the government's trying to tell us that our unemployment ratio is about 6.2% or something stupid like that. It's way more than that because everything is shut. The biggest employers in this country, small business, have been closed. Don't tell me that our unemployment's only 6.2%. Does not make any sense. So how bad is it in the US, the business and the government that we're tied to with our currency? Well, 26% of Americans rely on charity for food or they skip eating. 26%. That number came out today. And the stock exchange has just had a record 50-day rally. Now, you might wonder how that's even at all possible, given the state of the world. You and a whole lot of other people have asked that very question. That would be because there's a lot of economists talking about the manipulated numbers. Now, let's just have a look at what you do from the other side of the world. I've listened to Greg Manarino a heap of times. He has Traders' Choice.
So expect the Fed's balance sheets to balloon, quadruple, like I've been saying since weeks now, and that's going to push stocks higher. There's no doubt about it. So that's the trajectory for the market moving forward. That doesn't mean it's not going to waver around. But with the Fed buying it all, where do you think stocks are going? It's going to crash, like a lot of the YouTube bloggers out here are saying, oh, it's going to crash, get out of the market. No, I've been explaining to you that you should be in this market and buying calls for weeks and weeks since this V-shaped fake recovery in the market. I mean, it's all Fed engineered, hedge fund engineered. I mean, I explained to you, I don't know, a week or two ago that hedge funds were getting in here and buying stocks. Well, how did that play out? How about exactly like I said? But you were like the first to know. Look, that's the situation here. Now, we found out a couple of more things over the weekend. Apparently, this jobs number, this miracle number, actually was fake. There was errors, or there are errors, and they're trying to iron out, well, how these errors took place. I don't think these were errors at all. This was deliberate, okay? They faked the number. We all know it's fake. You got more economists coming out saying the number was cooked, okay? It's all cooked. It's crazy. This is what happens
So Mr. Manarino has been vocal in his condemnation of the American government's handling of this entire situation. He called it exactly to the day when the stock market crashed a while ago. He's been exactly on the money with what's happening with the infusions of capital and what it will do. It will pump the stock market up for a while. That will put pressure on gold, silver, precious metals to come back because people are looking for a yield and they think the stock market is going to be it. But it will eventually, if you listen to enough of Greg's posts, you'll see that he says ultimately it will collapse. It cannot do anything else. So just be aware. And Greg, the Qantas debit card is issued by the same bank that has the worst reputation of closing accounts and locking people out. You'll get away with a couple of transactions, as everybody does, and then they just close your account. Okay, so let's get to 2020, you tinfoil hat-wearing aficionados. Every week we're seeing worse news, but don't panic, Jonesy. We got gold, baby. I cannot tell you how happy I am that we started in this business a year ago. I wish it had been 5 years ago. It didn't happen. If you're in this business, you have an outcome that other people don't. So here's what the Heineken virus has done to gold. You can see there's a 20-year return there of 417%. It dropped back a bit this month, as Mr. Manarino predicted it would, but it has gained some today. So in our currency, $78.04 gets you a gram of gold. That's a 26.58% annual return. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world that you can go and get a return like that. You can't do it in a bank. They won't talk to you about gold. In fact, they will advise you against it. They will block your transactions. It does not matter what you do. As soon as you start to go past buying a few grams of gold, they will do everything in their power to stop you. It's in their best interest. Kate Longley suggesting ING. Yep, same thing. Be aware, not afraid. Just be careful how you go about it. But watch this space for the breakout. I listened to a guy today explain to me how gold will be $25,000 an ounce within the next few years. And he had a whole lot of very conscious and very attainable maths that would show you how that's going to work. So we just need a whole lot more ounces of gold. So let's talk about the money. This is what happens to our currency, our fiat currency. If you went shopping in 1999 with $100, you need 154 today to get the same amount of groceries. That's just the simple maths of it. Those numbers came off an Australian government website. Now understand that 2.2% inflation does not include the cost of fuel or food. So we are talking about 2.2% is a ridiculously conservative number. Be aware, not afraid. This is what gold does. In 1920, it bought you a top-of-the-line Ford in America. And today, in America, you can buy a top-of-the-line Ford SUV and have a truckload of change from a bar of gold. Nothing else compares. The last 20 years, gold approximately 10% a year. 31 grams, $450 in 2000, and today it's $2,423. That's a tidy increase. In the meantime, your cash has lost 54.28% of its buying power. 54.28%. Carrot Bars gives us gold with a blockchain. And what's next? If you're new on the call and you're not already a member, get a free account. Join as a customer or as an affiliate. It's completely free. If you join as a customer, you pay full retail price. If you join as an affiliate, you can get it at wholesale prices and you pick up a lot of other benefits along the way. Make sure you understand. You can join as either. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything in commitment or money. You can do whatever you like once you've joined. But I'll give you this little bit of advice. Do yourself a favor. Join as an affiliate. Just do that. You can work out the rest later. We'll show you how to do it. Now, I had the opportunity on the weekend with Carolyn to talk to some of our online friends, Mr. Lindsay and Mr. Rico and Ms. Lindsay. That's a tongue-tied bit, isn't it? Lucky Rico. And we had about an hour-long conversation. I've cut it down to 15 minutes. I will put the full transcript up on YouTube and send it out to people so they can listen to the whole conversation. But it was really good to catch up. We are trying to do a live link with them on Friday from the restaurant. And we are going to schedule a monthly online meeting between the GSG, Gold Savings Group, and Gold Rocks.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Real good. Good to see you guys.
Thank you. Good to see you too. How's Australia? What's happening on your side of the world?
Mate, similar things to where you are, but not nearly as dramatic. There's been some protests and people getting pepper sprayed and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
It's sad.
Protesting in Australia?
Yeah.
So are they protesting in Australia the same reason we're protesting in America? Wow. That is wow.
Black Lives Matter and I Can't Breathe.
Wow. That is, oh my God. Thank you. Everyone, globally who is speaking out. Thank you.
Definitely.
Whereabouts do you actually live?
We're in Virginia, in Richmond. We're actually in a very important city when it comes to what we were just talking about. It's just so much history in the city in Richmond, Virginia. As far as the discrimination, racial inequality, we live not too far from the birthplace pretty much of, slavery in the United States. And that's Jamestown, Virginia, right around in that area. So, we're not too far from the epicenter here in America. And there's so many places like that around the world, especially in the Caribbean and Brazil, cities like this that saw an influx of African slaves into, this country. So it's important what's going on right now. And I'm proud of my city. I'm proud of everything that's going on right now. I'm proud of the police in my city. I'm proud of the mayor and the governor and the people and the citizens. I think, we can be an example of real change. And it's just, it makes it even better being a part of Carabar. So.
Yeah, very much so. It's an eye-opener when you really look at what's happening in the world. All the things we've been talking about for the last X number of months or years is happening right in front of our face.
Yes,
absolutely. There it is. Told you. And
I'm surprised. I really didn't think it was going to happen this quick. Just 2.5 years ago, we began our journey in Carabars, and the writing was on the wall then. I projected it, out 5 to 7 years. We're going to see something like this happen in our global system, but it's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Absolutely, now. It is, and it's happening in a big way. We're seeing more and more people are aware. And that's amazing, because a year ago when you talked to somebody, they looked at you side-eyed, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it actually is. Right now, in front of your eyes, you can see it happening.
Yes, and those people that looked at you side-eyed are coming back, say, remember you were talking
that free gold savings account. Let me hear a little bit more about that free gold savings account.
Yeah, how's that gold thing going?
But really, Derek, that's exactly what's happening. As soon as this pandemic hit globally and everybody was able to sit down and start listening, maybe start doing some research and finding time, and then the lights started going off for a lot of people, and they're calling, they're reaching out now, they're joining Karatbars, quickly.
Yeah, we popped 1 million members, so
yeah,
it's going.
That's very cool. I know. I look at my numbers every week, and they just keep going up. And I've got no idea where most of these people are coming from. It just happens, It's been a long time for us to get, I think, really started, but it's starting to catch up. And one of the things for me, when I first started, I was looking for someone to explain where all this crap was coming from on the internet that just didn't make any sense. And that's when I found Gold Standard Group on a Google search.
Oh, shout out GSG. Derek, we've been growing.
Yes.
We
started out from a Zoom call with just 4 people on a call, and now we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and just people joining from all over the world, and it's great meeting different people like you all. So this has been fun.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah, same. It was very cool to be able to reach out and listen to somebody who looked at the evidence and then broke it down rather than just react.
Yeah. And there's a lot of reacting going on right now, because I'm sure everybody knows that there's people out there on YouTube that have a lot of negative things to say, that can't find any goodness in what Harold Seitz is doing. And unfortunately, you have people that listen to that and don't do the research. And they simply tie into the negative connotation that, these people are saying. Fortunately for me, I knew about gold. I understood the value behind gold and it being currency. So when Karatbars was introduced to me, it was a no-brainer. It just made sense. Of course, I went out and did my Google searches. I found all the bad press and bad information in the hurdles that the company had to overcome. But for everything that I found online, Derek, it made me want to dig deeper. And the more I dug, the better Karatbars started to look to me. And here we are.
Yeah, it's made a massive difference in all of our lives, and I think a lot more going to happen in the coming months. So now I am very disappointed in you, though. When KBC jumped 38% the other night, I thought you could have at least called me and said, mate, get a few more coins.
Hey, I didn't know. I woke up and just like everybody else, and KBC was up. And, it did go back down. But I'm happy that we came back down above and maintained above a half a cent. Mm-hmm. So that's a very good sign. We're making higher lows. And we're going to keep making that push up. I think once the blockchain, the Univo gets on the blockchain and everybody can see those gold bars moving, those Univos moving, I think that's going to be a driver, especially with the new Univos coming out. I think that's going to be a driver. We know that there's still plenty of phones that still need to be delivered. I think those, when those get out there to the consumers, there's going to be a demand for KBC. So I think we're going to see continuously these small jump, in my opinion. I want to see slow growth in KBC. Right.
You don't want to see anything jump too fast, Yeah.
Because invariably it will bounce back. Price rise through constant use is sustainable, but those big spikes, they just can't last.
Yeah, they can't last. And we get excited about those, and I try to maintain, my composure. I get excited when I see the coin going up, but at the same time, the reality is, people are taking profit. When the coin was 2/10 and 3/10 of a penny, for a few months, and people that bought at that price going to sell at 6/10, 7/10. Yep. They doubled it and tripled up. Why not? I mean, it just makes sense. But it looks like we're holding, and we'll just keep holding and keep pushing.
Yeah, I think it will. I'm really looking forward to the news. I think there's another announcement next Thursday morning, our time at 4 a.m. So that'll give us a little bit more of an insight into what is actually coming, only some of it. That'll be very good because it gives people something to head towards.
Right. And that's part of the reason we're seeing the price and the coins go up a little bit. People are anticipating, we got the bots the artificial intelligent the trading bot coming out. So we'll see. We'll see. Company always does. It keeps it exciting for us.
Yep, that it does.
I reckon that the company is proactive and keeping it exciting. And also it's very good now that they've engaged more in communicating regularly with us.
Oh, that's very good. So where do you see the future? Where do you see where this business is going to end up?
That's a great question. I know that there are some very lofty plans. Harold Seitz has, communicated to us that we got stores, Karatbar stores that are coming. We'll see about that. That may have changed. I don't know. The commercial real estate market right now is kind of, I don't know. So we'll see if the company, updates that. But we know we got a plan for a satellite network to go up for the blockchain. They don't say much about it right now, but we know that these things are being worked on in the background. Plus, we got the WIM, the CEM network is still going up. The trading platform, I understand we're going to have a better trading platform. We know K Merchant is working. We got CaratPay. So when you look at all these different tools that we have that are valuable in a sense, I mean, these are problem-solving solutions that we're offering the world, as well as our products are valuable products. I see the world right now rethinking their priorities in what they're doing with their money right now because of what we're doing, sitting down, going through our checkbooks and bank accounts and, accepting the stimulus money. But now I think people are trying to decide a better way to spend that money instead of blowing it. I think I see more people coming into Bitcoin and gold. I know definitely more people are coming to us and talking to us about Karatbars. So if we can keep that type of trend going, we have a company that's already ahead of many other companies when it comes to blockchain and wealth building and asset management and things like that. And then you got a global population that's starting to wake up and starting to become more in tune with what economies are doing, what governments are doing, what central banks are doing, and the lights are going off. And I think if we can keep that synergy going, I see Karatbars being a household name. I could see Karatbars being a Microsoft or an Apple or a Tesla.
So to sum it up, we feel that Karatbars is in the making of historic movement. Okay. With the whole ecosystem and all of those wonderful tools that are coming. Even if they fail at first, it was a thought. Karatbars thought of it and they went through with it, and I'm sure they're going to keep going until they get their products right, as they have done for us in the years that we've been affiliates. So I'm excited about anything forthcoming from Karatbars.
Yeah. What do you think, though? Let me ask you, what is your outlook? Ms. Carolyn and Mr. Derek, how do you see Karatbars in the near future?
Well, I pretty much agree with everything that you've just said. I'm astounded that it's taken this long for somebody to think through where the world was and put these pieces together. Because really, there's very little that Harold has put out there so far, other than the blockchain phone, that is new. We've had gold-backed currencies before, we've had gold before, we've had silver before, but he's done it in a way that makes it accessible for the normal people, the little people. And that's really, I think, what the great strength of the business is, that we're empowering all those little people to take charge of their own financial future. And we're seeing it happen. We're part of that movement. We're part of that overall structure without any shadow of a doubt, without any tongue-in-cheek statement. We are part of that movement. We've done that.
Yes.
As we get more and more people in that financially free zone, we will achieve more and more globally because we'll impact more people.
Yes. Now, I like to think to the day when everybody, I mean, not everybody, but most people in most countries around the world have cash gold, have that currency in their pocket, in their bank account. And I made a statement on one of my videos the other day, is that when that happens, when you have the global population holding a currency at the same time and want to use it, then governments have to recognize it. And, You know, I think when that happens, if cash gold can get to that level where it's globally accepted as currency, oh man, we've done our job.
Yep, I think you're right. What do you think, Carolyn?
I actually think we're at a wonderful, I'm going to call it like the confluence in the rivers when they all come together. And this virus has made people rethink where their priorities are, how they're going to do business, and how they had very easily just left a lot of their life and routine to the government or their boss. And now they've rethought all that, and they're taking a stand and being more vocal and more proactive for themselves and what they truly want out of life. Whether it's a person or whether it's a business owner, it's opened up their thinking to a complete new way of doing life. We're at that point where Parrotbuzz is actually a brilliant solution for both sides of personal wealth accumulation as well as doing business with cryptocurrency.
If you want to stay in a government-controlled system, then keep saving dollars. Stay in the dollar system. But if you want to opt out, if you want something I think that's going to be more stable, then definitely gold, Caribars, of course, and definitely cryptocurrency, the KBC coin, and we got the Unable stablecoin coming. And, Bitcoin's out there, and that's an option too. But these are things that are outside the governmental control, and I think that's very important. We know that it's coming. We know that Harold Sykes did say that there's going to be a slight disruption in the payment system because they're making a change.
Yeah, and I think it's a great change. I think it's going to be, as you say, an interesting roadmap with what we've got. We can put coins into that blockchain at a fixed exchange rate. I don't care if it's 100 to 1 or 75 to 1. I'm going to be really excited about it.
Yes. Yeah. I have my stash ready for those new Unos. I'm waiting for the announcement.
We'll do a bunch of that as well. Who knows what the residual from the tokens will be? Doesn't really matter because it's just going to be there. It's a residual. We'll see what happens with the rest of the business and the rest of the model, and hopefully we'll meet up somewhere in the coming year and partake of some libations.
It's called a celebration.
I was so looking forward, Lindsay and I were so looking forward to come to Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to be there.
Yeah, this is the month. This is the month.
This is the month.
This is the weekend. Yep.
And this is the weekend too,
Yes.
actually.
It is. It's the spot on weekend. Yes.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. They were absolutely excited about being able to talk to us and disappointed that they couldn't come because of the coronavirus. So really, really good. Stephen's just asked a question about full price gold compared to the wholesalers and affiliates. So Stephen, if you can send me your email address, I'll send you the links, or if you can let us know who your recommender is, we can make sure that we get the information to you. Happy to show you where that is. So Rico and Lindsay, they were scheduled to speak this coming weekend at our function, and they were absolutely devastated when we had to call it off. So it will be amazing to see what we can do with them. We've sort of glommed together over the weekend the idea to have a monthly catch up with their team and our team, and we can share ideas and share views going forward. And they will be amazing for us to have on our side because sometimes they hear things and we don't. So it's really good. It was great to have a catch up with them. It's about an hour long. I will post the entire chat. It is just a chat. We did not have a set plan of what we wanted to talk about. It was just something for us to get together and share the experience again. So a bit of corporate news. Thursday, 4 a.m. there is another meeting, and we will get some information from the corporate headquarters, and we will see what that is. They're not going to tell us everything. They've already told us that the existing MasterCards will cease on the 17th. Therefore, from the 17th forward, the new payment system must exist. Whether it gets in place by the Friday, which is only 2 days afterwards, or not, yet to be determined. So once the Carrot Pay options, make sure you've got a clear picture of what you want to do. You'll be able to create an environment where you can add KBC to your Carrot Pay system, and we'll be able to show you how to create univals in Carrot Pay that will give you the ability to create residual income going forward. And that is unique. But there's a number of other things that will impact your choice. What's going to happen to the rest of the tokens you've got, the rest of the KBC? Just pay attention. As information comes to hand, we will get it out to you. So just be prepared. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If there's any questions, please unmute yourself or put your hand up or type a message. If you're like me and you type like grandma's cousin, then you might want to just unmute yourself to ask a question. Dan McCloskey, he types pretty quick. He has to lick each finger in between the characters on the keyboard. Now, we're not seeing too many questions. Okay. Thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. We'll assume that we've answered a number of questions. This will be up on the YouTube channel as quickly as we can. Hopefully tonight it'll be up there. I encourage you to listen to Lucky Rico and Lindsay, wonderful people to share the experience with, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you. Hang on a second, Brad. Where did Brad? Someone just shouted about Brad. Where did Brad send a question? Okay, I'm going to pass on what's just been shouted through the door. Once we put univals in the new Carrot Pay system, they will be tied to gold. The coins themselves will not be fluctuating up and down on the market. So they're the sorts of things you need to understand, have a good thought about, because some of those coins you might want to hold there until they go up in value next year. So we'll do a little session on, as soon as we know how this is going to work, we'll do a specific session on all the ins and outs of how that'll come together. So thanks everybody for joining us. We look forward to seeing you absolutely on the golden beaches of the world. Have a golden evening.